All right, thank you guys. Welcome to our college basketball video here today for Thursday, February 25th, 2021. And if you're new here, I just want to take a quick time out and welcome you to my channel. My name is Brock Page, and I do sports picks for free right here on YouTube. And if you end up liking what you see here today, please feel free to hit that subscribe button and join the Brock Page family. I'd love to have you. With that, guys, we're going to go ahead and start off with Iowa versus Michigan, 7 p.m. Eastern tip-off in Ann Arbor. The Michigan Wolverines are the 5-point favorite at home. Totals 155 even. And if you like the Hawkeyes to get the job done here on the road, they're plus $1.80 on the money line. Now, we went 4-1 in our 5 premium sports picks on my Patreon website yesterday. It's going to put us at 11-3 in our last $14.99 daily best plays on that Patreon page. We currently have over 1,350 members who are signed up and active on that page. Now, the Iowa Hawkeyes have failed to cover the point spread in 6 out of their last 9 ball games. 73 points a game they give up when they travel. They're taking on a Michigan program who's right in the middle of a 5-game winning streak, and they went 8-2 against the number in their last 10. The Wolverines are in the top 10 in defensive field goal percentage, top 25 in defensive rebounding. Hunter Dickinson scoring 15 points a game for Michigan, 7 rebounds a night, and 28 total blocks for the season for the 7'1" freshman. Meanwhile, Isaiah Livers is scoring over 14 points a night himself, along with 5 boards and a couple assists. The Wolverines give up just 64 points a night at the Chrysler Center, and they're holding their opponents to just 36% shooting from the field there. Now, total-wise, when it comes to the scoring in this one, 3 out of Michigan's last 4 contests stayed under the number, 6-2 to the under in their last 8. Meanwhile, Iowa's 5-0 to the under in their last 5 straight themselves, 7-2 to the under in their last 9. I'm going to lean toward the Michigan Wolverines -5 and the under 155. All right, next matchup I have for you, not on our big screen behind me, but it is going to be UCLA. That's right, UCLA versus Utah, 8 p.m. Eastern start time at the Huntsman Center. The UCLA Bruins are -1.5 on the road. Totals 135 juice to the over. And if you like the running Utes in an upset on their home court, they're plus 105 for some money line cash. That's right. Thanks for joining in. I know some of you said money line cash. But anyway, Utah, they saw 6 out of their last 10 meetings with the Bruins get over the posted total. The Utes are also 60% to the over in their last 10 ball games this season. And they're also 5-4 to the over on their home court. Meanwhile, UCLA on the other side saw 2 out of their last 4 ball games get over the total themselves, 6-4 to the over in their games away from home this season. I'm going to lean toward the over 135 in that contest. All right, next matchup. We're getting into the later games here. I'm talking about Boise State versus San Diego State, 9 o'clock Eastern start time. The San Diego State Aztecs are -6.5, numbers 138. And if you think about it, not really much you can say badly about the Aztecs. Very good program, great overall record, really good at home. Honestly, you can't score on them. Having said that, though, there is one troublesome area, in my opinion, and that's with a common opponent. Now, about a month or so ago, San Diego State really struggled with a Utah State team, scoring just 45 and 59 points respectively in that 2-game series with the Aggies. So needless to say, the Aggies swept San Diego State in that short 2-game stint. And the Boise State Broncos are coming fresh off a 2-game sweep of, yep, you guessed it, Utah State. As a matter of fact, the Broncos averaged 80 points per night in that 2-game series, and they currently find themselves on a 4-game winning streak. Now, Derek Alston Jr. scoring nearly 18 points a game, along with 3 rebounds, 2 assists. Now, the 6'9" guard is also making over 85% of his free throws, and he's draining 43% of his three-pointers. Meanwhile, Marcus Shaver Jr. scoring nearly a dozen a game himself, along with 4 rebounds. And the Boise State Broncos are in the top 25 in the country in road scoring, and they also find themselves averaging over 78 points a game when they travel. Now, total-wise, 3 out of Boise's last 4 ball games got over the number, 5 and 2 to the over in their last 7. Meanwhile, San Diego State saw 5 out of their last 8 get over the total themselves, 60% to the over in their last 10 meetings with Boise. I'm going to lean toward the underdog Boise State Broncos plus 6.5 in the over 138. Next contest, it is going to be Ohio State versus Michigan State, 9 p.m. East. The Ohio State Buckeyes are -4, totals 145.5. The Buckeyes have won 7 out of their last 8 ball games, top 30 in the nation in road scoring. E.J. Liddell is scoring over 15.5 points a game, along with 6 rebounds and 26 total blocks. Meanwhile, Dwayne Washington Jr. is scoring almost 16 a night himself, including 2 rebounds and a couple assists a game as well. Now, Washington's also drilling 89% of his free throws. Ohio State's averaging 79 points per contest, and they're taking on a Spartans team who's just 3-9 against the spread at the Breslin Event Center this year, and they're also making just 33% of their three-pointers for the entire season. Now, defensively, the Spartans are allowing 72 points per game, and when it comes to the total in this one, Sparty's last 3 straight all got over the total. Ohio State's 9-2 to the over away from home themselves. I'm going to lean toward the Ohio State Buckeyes -4 in the over 145.5. Next contest, going to stay within the Big Ten. I'm talking about Northwestern versus Minnesota, 9 o'clock Eastern tip-off. The Minnesota Golden Gophers are -4.5 on their home court, numbers 141 flat. Now, the Gophers saw their last 2 straight outings get over the line, 4-3 to the over in their last 7. Meanwhile, Northwestern saw contests with Indiana, Purdue, Penn State, Iowa, and Ohio State get over the line themselves within their past 10 ball games. Matter of fact, the Wildcats are officially 5-4 to the over as the road team as well. I'm actually going to go ahead and lean toward the over 141 in that contest there. All right, next matchup. It is going to be the Oregon Ducks versus the Stanford Cardinal, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The Oregon Ducks are the 1.5-point favorite on the road. Totals 135, juice to the under. Now, the Ducks have won 5 out of their last 6 ball games. Top 35 in the nation in three-point percentage on the road. Eugene Amori is scoring over 16 points a game, along with 5 rebounds and a couple assists. Meanwhile, Chris Duarte is scoring 16 a game himself, along with 4 boards and a couple assists a night as well. Now, Oregon's allowing just 66 points per contest. They've also been victorious in 7 out of their last 10 meetings with Stanford. And speaking of the Cardinal on the other side of things, they failed to cover in 5 out of their last 8 ball games. They're also just 30% shooting from 3 land on their home court this year. Now, scoring-wise, 5 out of Stanford's last 8 got over the number. They're also 7-1 to the over in their 8 home games. Meanwhile, 5 out of Oregon's last 8 games away from home got over the total themselves. I'm going to lean toward the Oregon Ducks -1.5 and the over 135. And with that, guys, we're going to dive into our next and final matchup for the show. Is it on our big screen? Yeah, there it is. I keep going around it. It is going to be USC versus Colorado. 9 p.m. Eastern start time in the Rockies. The Colorado Buffaloes are the 3-point favorite at home. Totals 136. But despite an impressive home record, the Buffaloes have failed to cover the point spread in their last 3 straight ball games. They also went just 2-6 against the spread in their last 8. Really struggling to get the job done against the number recently. Colorado also lost 2 out of their last 3 contests straight up, and they averaged only 59 points per contest on the offensive side of things in those 3 games. Now they're taking on a red-hot USC program who's 8-1 straight up in their last 9 themselves, and they covered the number in 78% of those ball games. Now the Trojans are in the top 10 in defensive field goal percentage on the road, top 15 in points allowed in that same category. Evan Mobley scoring over 16.5 points a night for the Trojans, 8 rebounds, couple assists for the 7-foot freshman. Mobley's also recorded 22 steals and 70 total blocks. Meanwhile, Taj Edey scoring over 14 a night himself, along with 2 boards and 2 assists as well. Now keep an eye on Isaiah Mobley, not Evan, Isaiah Mobley, as he's been listed as questionable. He's good for about 9 points a game, so shouldn't be a huge impact on the Trojans. Now, USC's in the top 20 in road defensive rebounding, and they're giving up just 62 points a game away from home. Now, total-wise, 3 out of USC's last 4 contests got over the line, 6-3 to the over in their last 9. Meanwhile, the Buffaloes are 5-4 to the over at the CU Event Center. I'm going to lean toward the underdog USC Trojans +3 and the over 136. And with that, guys, we're going to dive into our quick pick recap. Once again, powered to you by my Patreon website, where we went 4-1 in our 5 premium sports picks on that Patreon page yesterday. We're also 11-3 in our last 14 $1.99 daily best plays on that Patreon page as well. I like Michigan -5 under 155. I also like the over 135 in the UCLA-Utah game. Give me Boise State +6.5 over 138. I also like Ohio State -4 over 145 and a hook. I'm leaning toward the over 141 in the Northwestern Minnesota game. I also like Oregon -1.5 over 135. And before I give you my next and final free pick for the show, one final reminder to please hit that subscribe button right now if you ended up enjoying today's video. Give me the USC Trojans +3 in the over 136. Guys, this content is for entertainment purposes only. I don't make any guarantees of any kind. With that, guys, we're going to dive into some YouTube shout-outs. Shout out to Macaroni Tony, Ziggy007, Dat Wong, Mosley P, RC Guapo, Simon Says, Renisha Brown, King Jackson, Benny Martinez, and last but certainly not least, got to give a shout out to my good friend, Trevino Sloan. All right, guys, that's going to do it for me. Got to thank you for joining me right here on YouTube. Really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. And with that said, happy Thursday to you. Best of luck to you. And have yourself a good one now.